Hey, it's me, MLV. Here is chapter 101 of Touched. This one is titled The Start of the Wedding. Once Bri had his makeup all done, you got ready to leave. Hold up, baby boo, Brian said to you. I have one more surprise for you. He led you outside, asking you to close your eyes, then he stopped you at the edge of the driveway. Okay, you can open now, he squealed excitedly. You opened your eyes, and there was one of your most favourite modes of transport sitting on the driveway. Oh my god, Brian, you screeched with awestruck surprise. Seriously? Yes, of course, baby. Just for you, he replied happily. You've really spoiled her, Jasmine said with a laugh as she walked out with Norman, in puppy tuxedo, in her arms. You're damn right I have, Brian said as he pointed his nose in the air. Only the best for the Queen on her wedding day. I love you so much, Bri, you cried, hugging him lovingly. Jasmine and Brian helped you into the mode of transport, flitting around you, making sure that you were all set. Then Brian and Norman hopped in beside you, and you were off to the wedding. The ride there was going okay, but the closer that you got to destination, the more the nerves started to flare up. Bri, I'm feeling a little nauseated, he said as you started fanning yourself, trying to take deep breaths. Lord, Brian gasped. Heavens, Beyonce, please don't faint on me, he mumbled, quickly reaching into his pink Gucci glitter purse and pulling out a rainbow-coloured fan, fanning you rapidly with it. Stay with me, honey bun, deep breaths, okay? He said soothingly as he turned to the driver. Get the aircon on right now, right this instant, he demanded sassily. Yes, ma'am, the driver replied meekly as he reached for the air conditioning button. It's sir, honey, Brian said sharply. Yes, ma'am, sir, ma'am, the driver replied with confusion. Brian just shook his head and turned his attention back to you. I'm so nervous, Bri, you wailed softly, starting to flick your hands in a panic. Okay, sweets, repeat after me, Brian said calmly as he put his rainbow fan down and held both your hands in his. We're gonna bring Freedom by Beyonce. What? You asked as you low-key hyperventilated. Freedom, freedom, I can't move, Brian said gently, quoting the lyrics to her song. Freedom, freedom, I can't do this, Brian, I'm too scared, you wailed. Are we doing the runaway bride? Brian gasped. Honey, you just say the word and we will just run to Tahiti, he said loudly as he started mentally preparing for the escape. Beyonce, cover us with your light. We're about to run. No, wait. I still have Hawks. I don't want to run away, you said quickly. I just can't do the whole marriage in front of people thing, you said as your bottom lip quivered. Honey, don't you dare cry. You will ruin your makeup, Brian said sharply. Not on my watch. You ain't ruining Jasmine's hard work. Bri, you wailed, looking up at the ceiling as you bit back tears. Honey bunny, here, Brian said as he reached into his purse and pulled out a small metal flask. Drink this. What is it? You asked worriedly. Drink, he demanded as he undid the lid and held it to your lips. You took a sip and gagged. Oh, is this alcohol? You asked as you spluttered and coughed after swallowing it. Just a little nip of brandy sugar. It'll calm you right down, he said as he patted your hand effeminately. Okay, now breathe. 15 minutes later, you had arrived at the gates of the outdoor wedding set. I need some water, you said in a soft voice as you quivered with fear. Get the Queen some water, Brian hollered, shoving half of his body out of the window to attract attention. Someone came running with a glass of water and passed it through the window to Brian, who handed it to you. Okay, breathe, Bambi. Bless you, glitter and light, he chanted lightly as he did some kind of shadow jitsu around you. Bri? You asked as you watched him with confusion. You are now protected. Go and get your man, he said as he hopped out of his side and ran around to your side with arms bent at the elbows and helped you out of the car. The large white gates at the beginning of the aisle were tall enough to block the vision of everyone who was waiting on the other side for your arrival, and you were most grateful to be able to catch your breath for a bit before starting the walk. You had decided on an outdoor wedding because Hawks had a sneaking suspicion that a certain villain would drop by and want to see you without being seen, possibly opting to take cover in the trees nearby. You, Brian and Norman walked to the gates where your mum, Auntie Ray, Hiyoko and Uncle Anthony were waiting for you. Uncle Anthony welled up the minute that he saw you and Brian, daintily wiping his eyes so as to stop the tears from falling. Oh, my baby girl, your mum said in a wobbly voice when she saw you, bringing her hanky to her face to dab the tears away. Are we all ready? Brian asked brightly as he took his place beside Anthony, who smiled bashfully down at him. You look fabulous, baby, he said softly as he squeezed Brian's arm. And you look so handsome, Boo-Boo, Brian replied, reaching up on tippy toes to kiss Anthony on the cheek. Mummy, Mummy, Hiyoko cried from Auntie Ray's arms. Hi, beautiful boy, you cried as you reached out to hug him. Look at you! Hiyoko was in an all-white suit with gold trimmings. He indeed looked like an angel. Okay, Auntie Ray, you ready to release him and Norman? You asked once Norman's lead had been handed to her. You look stunning, Yin, she said softly with awe. Yes, I'm ready. Thank you, you said bashfully. Okay, when the music starts, let Hiyoko and Norman go. Ray nodded and walked to the gate. Just then the music started and the attendants on the other side of the big white gates opened it and let Hiyoko and Norman, Flower Pup, through. The idea was for Hiyoko to take Norman's lead and lead the pup down the aisle while he reached into the small carry basket attached to Norman's back and throw petals down the aisle. But as soon as Hiyoko saw his daddy down the front, he squealed and took off running, toddling as fast as he could with his little chubby legs. Daddy! He screamed, his face bright with the widest smile. Little Norman galloped along beside the toddler, going as fast as his little puppy legs could carry him. Then Hiyoko realised that they were outside, and he spread his wings. Oh no! Uncle Anthony gasped when he saw Hiyoko spread his wings. Beyonce, save my baby! Brian screamed, fearing that his little pup was going to be airlifted by the collar. Thankfully, Hiyoko dropped the lead as he got airborne and shot down the aisle towards Hawks. Your man laughed heartily and opened his arms to accept his little boy as the winged bub barreled into him, the congregation chuckling and awing as father and son embraced. Well, you tried, Nugget, you tried, Hawks said with a chuckle. Mummy, Hiyoko said excitedly to his dad as he twisted his upper body around and pointed a chubby finger back up the aisle to where you were waiting behind the gates, out of sight of Hawks. Is Mummy here? Hawks asked Hiyoko with a smile. Is she as pretty as always? Pretty, Hiyoko said with a smile. Uncle Bri pretty, Mummy pretty. They're both pretty? Hawks asked with his little winged one. Well, I can believe that. And that's the end of chapter 101. Stay tuned for chapter 102.